Hello my paper peeps. Welcome to another tag tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create this 3D, three-dimensional tag that you can use in your scrapbooks, your journals, and your gift giving. Today I am so excited to let you know I am launching my new paper line called the Botanicals, the Amber Collection. And I honestly think the stars have aligned because Tim Holtz has actually released his new botanical stamp and it pairs perfectly well with my paper line. So if you're interested in this aesthetic, then make sure you go to the description box below where I will link where you can purchase Tim Holtz's stamp. Now his stamp is right now on pre-order, so go ahead, pre-order that. In the meantime, you can actually go to the description box below and download my paper collection. And then when his stamp comes in, then you can start crafting. But until then, let's do this 3D tag. Let's get crafting. Okay, we're going to be using the Tim Holtz Flower Garden stamp set. And I have used this multiple times in a lot of my scrapbooks. It's an adorable set. If you can get this, I would highly recommend it because you'll use it a lot, especially if you love the botanicals, florals, those kind of things. We are going to be pairing it with this modeling film. In this pack, you get one clear, one black, and one white, but we will be using the clear modeling film for this tutorial. And you can see here, I've used it quite a bit. There's only a little bit left of this film. I think I've used 90% of it. So I just have this small section left, but it comes with two protective sheets on either side that you have to remove. And it's quite thick. So unfortunately, you can use dies to cut through it, but you'll still have to use scissors to completely cut through the plastic. So I highly recommend if you're using an image on this, that you can actually fussy cut around the image quite easily. Now what you want to do is make sure that you secure the plastic onto the stamping site, just because it has a tendency to pop up when you remove the stamp. And the best ink to use is StazOn. I have no idea where my black is. I think the kids used it and now I can't find it. I'm going to use this Timber Brown, which is perfectly fine. And with StazOn, it dries in about 3 to 5 minutes on non-porous surfaces like the plastic. So you want to make sure that you stamp it and then leave it to dry. Okay, now what you want to do is take the washi tape that you used to secure it down to the stamp site or to your stamping platform and keep it on the side that you've stamped. And the reason why you want to do that is because that is the side that you don't want to color. You actually want to color on the other side or on the back side of that modeling film. And the best pens to use on this modeling film are permanent markers like your Sharpies or your Posca markers, because the Sharpies actually deliver a highly reflective color, and they're best because they're available in different sizes and tips and colors and textures. Now, in this case, I wanted to use a yellow and orange, but I didn't have the yellow and orange tone in a Sharpie, so I'm going to use a Copic marker. On this modeling film, they deliver a lighter, more transparent color, which I'm fine with because where I'm placing it on the tag, I want this more of a transparent look. And the reason why I'm using the orange and the yellows is because the paper collection is the Amber Collection, which showcases yellows and oranges. And if you're new to my channel, we are currently in the Sage Collection, which is a compilation of videos that show you how to set up your scrapbooks and journals for the year. And I have been using the 49 Markets Sage Collection, and it's an absolutely beautiful collection, but I thought I'd venture out on my own and produce something that is specific for scrapbook journaling that I am obsessed with. And that includes producing and making tags that you place in your scrapbooks and journals. And I thought that you could use the 49 Market collection to produce all those, but I found that there was just certain elements that were missing. And I actually had to make this collection because there's just certain things in my crafting that I have to have. And I thought, you know what, why not make something that would showcase my passion for scrapbook journaling and using wax seals and all the other things that I love to use to to embellish my crafting. Now, if you're interested in videos like these, make sure you stay till the end of this video where I'll post other videos that will show you exactly how I set up the scrapbook journals using stamps, ephemera, and all those fun little things that jazz up and make your scrapbook journals just absolutely beautiful. Okay, so you let that dry. Don't want to touch it because it takes about 3 to 5 minutes for the ink to dry on the modeling film. Once it's dried, then you want to fussy cut around the image. And then you take your heating gun to it. Now it gets pretty hot. I don't know how people do this with their fingers. So I just, oops, and it's blowing away. There, let's hold it in place with this. Even then, okay, there we go. And you'll see it'll want to blow away on me. But the great thing with this modeling film is if you don't like the shape that it has taken with the heat, you can always reheat it. It's so malleable and easy to work with. Now, instead of gems that I like to put in the middle of my flowers, I thought I would stray from the norm and use these mini pills, or they're called mini Prills. And all I do is I take some glossy accents or any kind of adhesive that you normally like to use. And what I do is just place a little bit in the middle. Yeah, that's not gonna work. So just pour it in just like that. And it's messy, it's so messy. So I should have done this over a better work surface so that I wouldn't waste much. But you know what, I've got my piece of paper, it's not a big deal. And then what you wanna do is kind of squish it in there a little bit, make sure that the little Prills have attached to the adhesive. Now, if this isn't 3D enough for you, I don't know what is. Isn't that beautiful? It's gorgeous. Initially, I wasn't too fond of using the Copic markers on this, but when you see the end product, I'm so glad I did because I love how transparent it is because it showcases the tag underneath. Okay, friends, here is a printable from my paper collection. Because this is a 3D tag, I actually spaced these tags out purposely so that when you do your 3D tag, it will actually accommodate for the bulk. And if you know me, I love to bulk everything up. It gets so embellished that I find that you need this space between the tags in order to decorate and embellish with as many elements as you like. Now with this collection, there's 2 sheets of this tri-fold 3D tag that you cut out, and when you cut it, you make sure that you cut along the outer edges. And those dotted lines there, those are score lines, you do not cut in those areas. So you just cut along the outer edges and then score along these 2 lines here, or 4 lines. Ideally, you want to use a thicker cardstock like this. Okay, so all you do is score along those lines. And then take some scissors and just cut the triangle edges out. So after you've decided on how you want to display this, what you want to do is adhere the pages to each other. So once I've adhered this, you now have this beautiful tri-fold of a tag. Now, I actually did this middle part of the tag earlier on. If you want to know how to make that 3D, 3-dimensional window tag for photos, or obviously here dried flowers, then you can watch this video. I did this in another video and it shows you how to create this beautiful window. I can actually link that at the end of this video if you are interested. And the great thing about this is that whatever you want in the front, you can showcase that. You have so many options with this tag. What I'm going to be using to embellish this tag is the line that I just launched, and it has a plethora of ephemera. You have frames, you have little die cuts, some of my favorite inspirational sayings for the year, a ton of things that I want to show you how to use in this tutorial. You'll love it, so stay tuned. I actually printed these out the way they come downloaded, but for this tag, I actually had to shrink the images, and you can do that directly on your computer, which is why I love printable downloads. Now, these little circles here, I will show you later how I use them on my tags, and it will blow you away. It's a really, really neat technique that I use. So here's the frame that I'm going to use from the collection, and I have my craft knife here that didn't realize it was dull, so I went through my husband's toolkit to find his, and I'm like, yeah, this will work. Now, when you use these sayings, I gave it that ripped effect for a reason. You can use scissors and fussy cut around it, but if you actually tear them and use this technique, it gives that vintage vibe that we all love. Here, I'll show you. Go ahead, try to fussy cut it just like this. And then, now try just tearing it. Look at the difference. I love the ripped look way better. You can actually just rough it up with your fingernails like that if you want. If you want to give those white edges a more rustic look or a more vintage look, then you just ink the edges. And look at me, I'm off the camera. That's what happens when you're focusing on crafting. You don't realize that, yeah, you're off camera, but here. Or you do what I do, and I just drag it along the ink pad, just like that. Friends, my love of crafting has always gone beyond playing with paper. I am truly passionate about creating to connect, and not just through my own personal journey of journaling creatively to connect with my inner soul, but to connect with others through gift giving. I stand before you acknowledging how blessed I truly am to do what I love to do here on this platform. So if you love this paper collection and you want to incorporate it into your crafting, I just want to let you know that portion of the purchase will be going to those in need. So join me as we live to leave a legacy where love paves the way.